young man to consider that as a possibility in their life. You know, a lot of people say, well, it must be an awfully lonely life. There are times, like anything, you're going to feel lonely. But it's like when I'm with all of you, people say, well, you don't have a family. You're my family. You know? I mean, I have family, I have blood family that I can go and visit and have that connection. But I really feel more at home when I'm with people like you, or when I'm celebrating Mass, or I'm with young couples that are preparing for marriage, or preparing parents to have their child baptized in the Catholic Church, or working with young women and men in the catechumenate who are going to come into the church at the Easter Vigil. That's my family. So I really don't. In fact, I like to be alone at times. It's important to wind down and to have prayer time. I do that most of the time in the early morning. I'm usually up by 5 o'clock, 5:30. And it's a quieting time for me to pray. And I don't say a whole lot. I mean, I don't talk in the room. I had a Kindle with music in the background or something like that. Or just not do any of it and just sit and pray and talk to God in my mind and my heart. But that's important for, yes?
Is there an aspect or part of this that's difficult for you, that is hard for you?
I think when I was first ordained, my early years, it was getting up early morning Mass. Because I was not a morning person. But that's changed now. You know, I'm 52 years old, and when you get older, that shifts a little bit. You know, so you have a lot to look forward to. But I think that I wouldn't say that there's a whole lot of, you know, my challenge in my priestly life is taking time for myself. You know, like going on vacation periodically, or going to visit my parents a couple days. That's my problem in life. My challenge in my priesthood is that I take that time to do that. That's what keeps you grounded. And sometimes when you're constantly giving, you're not taking time for yourself. My beloved patron St. Charles Borromeo speaks about that, and challenges a group of seminarians. If you're going to take care of other people's souls, you got to take care of your own soul as well. So I just went to confession. So would you absolve me? That's my challenge, is taking ample time for myself to recreate and to enjoy life. Yes?
I've had someone who is not Catholic ask me before why women can't be priests, or why they can't serve in that sense. Can you explain
In the
that?
priestly life?
Yeah, I didn't know how to.
Well, it's more out of it's tradition. It's what happened in the time from the moment that Jesus instituted the priesthood. And in our Catholic teaching, we believe that the Lord instituted the priesthood at the Last Supper. And that men have always been consistently, through the tradition and history of the church, that men have been the ones called to that particular lifestyle, commitment. And then religious communities developed over a period of time, over the ages, dedicated to specific areas of service by way of like hospital ministries. Like some religious orders were established, religious orders of men particularly, and women, were established with a particular, as they call it, a charism or apostolate with regard to what their community did. I'll give you an example. We have several religious orders that are based in the Diocese of Toledo. The Little Sisters of the Poor are in healthcare. They are working with the elderly. That is their charism as a religious community. The Sisters of St. Francis in Sylvania were always good in teaching and in hospital ministries. And they own several hospitals in the United States that they run and operate. Now they're shifting their emphasis more into the geriatric care for elderly people, because elderly people the population of elderly people is rising in this country. So their original charism of health care has shifted specifically to geriatric care. Sisters of Notre Dame, who are in Toledo, have traditionally been associated with education, formation of young children, and high school age individuals. Some religious orders, like the Jesuits, were formed to dedicate specifically to educational, university level education. But it's more out of tradition that has not happened, that the church has not embraced the ordination of women.
Just the idea that men and women have their own kind of certain roles in the church. So if we view priesthood as a sense of power, I can definitely understand why someone might think because it's woman not being priesthood. Could you also say it's the fact that since priesthood is not a position of power, role.
Service, we heard that right in that video tonight.
So like men, like when they take the place of Christ, when they're turning the body and blood of Christ, they're Christ is a man. So men should be priests.
Exactly. And that's basically out of the tradition. That is the tradition of the church.
And I don't know, I was thinking someone said that Jesus had a desire for women priests to be actors.
Yep. Yes.
Question, especially with these certain charisms that you talk about. How did you discern those vocations to diocesan priesthood rather than a specific charism? What distinguished it?
I think the diocesan priesthood had a more generalized, if you will, and a broader perspective of what ministry is, although there are religious orders that will do parish ministry in some. Example, I was at the St. Thomas More Newman Center this past weekend at the Ohio State University preaching on vocations at all of their weekend masses. The Paulist Fathers are there ministering at the Ohio State University Newman Center. Their apostle is to serve specifically in those particular environments of like a college campus with young people. I felt that the diocesan priesthood was a little broader in perspective, although our particular work is in parish ministry. And probably for me, it was the fact that I was, connected more to my home parish in Sandusky that gave me that perspective that that's the kind of thing I wanted to do. The priests that served in my parish were always very happy individuals, and they always seemed to enjoy living in the rectory and community life and sharing their friendship with parishioners and that kind of thing. I think that that's what I saw as, one of the aspects that was drawing me over to the diocesan priesthood. I've never regretted it, the diocesan priesthood. Anything else? You've been a captive body. Father, you have something to say?
What do you think are some of the challenges for young person where they might sense the call of priesthood? What are some of the obstacles that you through that?
I think that one of the things, because it kind of was alluded to in the video, I think society struggles with what we do. Culture. American culture struggles with celibate lifestyle, religious lifestyle, God talk, commitment, sacrifice, a lot of those things culturally in the current climate of our American culture, the world just cannot fathom this. I think that's why the news media loves the Catholic Church. They like that. They like that austere, kind of, and the attempt sometimes, at least that's been my opinion, is that the news media likes to bring that down. They want to try to break the stereotype of the church as being countercultural. That is a big issue in today's society, that what we do as priests really is countercultural to the cultural experience. So that can become a great obstacle to anyone discerning vocation, whether it's the priesthood, religious life, married life, and single life for that matter. But in particular to the priesthood, I think that we are an enigma to the world. And you know what? That's what I love about what we do. I love that. Because it causes people to ask questions. That's how the Holy Spirit is working in the world And what we do and how we respond to that, that's how God works, and that's where God's grace is at work in the world. I think that spirituality also is wanting in culture, in American culture, and I think that also is something that can provide an obstacle to people, that they don't have a forum, if you will, to be able to pray. So, I think that what your organization does, what Veritas does here on the campus of Holy Reed State University, is to help provide that aspect, to give you the tools to make those kind of things happen for you, because the world's not going to show that to you. You know what the world's going to tell you? Only be concerned with yourself and forget everybody else. Don't worry about service. Oh, it'll take care of itself. Don't worry about the poor. Don't worry about justice issues. Don't worry about life issues. It'll all take care of itself. I'm going to jump. You're the ones that are going to, we're going to be the ones that are going to. One of the things I appreciate about it tonight, right at the very outset, famous quote, scriptural, but even was reiterated again by great venerable John Paul II. Do not be afraid. That is really critical. That was the first thing he spoke as Pope when he went out on the Loggia at St. Peter's as Pope John Paul II. The first words that came out of his mouth: be not afraid. Don't be afraid. And there's a power that comes when people bond themselves together of like mind and spirit that the world can't control. It's there, it's in you. So I don't know if that answers your question. Those would be key obstacles, at least in my estimation. We have 22 men in the seminary right now for the Diocese of Toledo, and I currently have 5 men who are applying to enter the seminary next year. So I know that they're thinking about that, and we'll take that along as God wills it, and we deal with it accordingly. But I'm very impressed with the 5 men that we have right now that are applying. So.
Monsignor, you should do another round of applause.